Welcome to the Legends in Detail podcast, episode 16?
50.
No, it's definitely not 50. But we're doing we're doing Oscar Robertson today.
Mr. Triple Double.
Mr. the original.
Did I just make
Triple
that up, or is that
Dude,
an actual nickname?
His nickname was the
Might as
Big
well
O.
then. It was what?
The Big O.
The Big O?
Yeah.
Now
I
that
didn't
means
like that.
orgasm.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know if back then that meant like someone says that, I think orgasm.
Yeah, me too. Wasn't Triple Double like not a term?
It
back
wasn't
then?
until the 80s.
Yeah, who coined it? Was
Magic Johnson's agent, I believe.
okay.
Yeah, because
Fucking
Magic Johnson was getting a lot of triple doubles, and he coined that term. But before that, they didn't
so
know
Oscar
what it was.
Robertson needed a better agent.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
he could have profited off. He'd have been a bigger name. We wouldn't, everybody would know about him.
Yeah.
I didn't know about
How could
him
your
until we
nickname
were
be
talking about
Mr. Triple
Russ.
Double if that term didn't exist back then?
it's kind of wild that like no one thought that could ever be broken, and then Russell Westbrook did it 4 out of 5 years.
Yeah, no, that was ridiculous. But like he found out the formula for doing that. Like they formulated their game to that.
Yeah.
Like
That was like his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. That's the biggest difference between Russell Westbrook and Oscar Robertson is that Oscar Robertson didn't play for stats, and it's so clear
That was
Russell
so rare
Westbrook-
back then, though.
Yeah.
When was he drafted again?
1960.
Oh yeah,
You can tell, too,
That
so,
was
like-
not the thing. You get your ass beat.
Yeah,
You have all these seasons where he didn't quite average a triple.
He
double,
was
where
right there
If
at
he was stat chasing, he could have. So like 9.7 assists, 10.1 rebounds, 9.5 assists, 10.4 rebounds, and then he had 11 assists, 9.9 rebounds, 11.5 assists,
Wow.
9.
He just
like,
didn't know to get
He
10.
didn't know. Like
yeah.
If
that's like 4 or 5 times
From-
he could have.
From 1960 to 1965, he averaged a triple double. Although he only averaged a triple double in one season. For
so
that
what were
stretch.
they talking about? Like what were all the sportscasters and stuff and like everybody in the media? What were they like? Oh, he's on a massive run of 3 stats being awesome. Like,
We're having to invent an extra column in the score sheet.
how is Irving Magic Johnson's agent the first one to think triple double?
Dude, it's so funny watching those old games when like guys are like flopping or whatever, and there's no flop. The term flop hadn't been invented yet, so they're like, "That's a real acting job."
Yeah. Sign him up for the local play. Oh god damn it.
Oh man, that it's pretty crazy though. So, who had the greatest rookie season ever, Oscar Robertson or Wilt Chamberlain? Because Oscar Robertson had a damn good
Okay.
rookie season.
Read off his stats. I remember Wilt's now.
Go ahead, Corey.
Wilt averaged like 36 and 20 or
Yeah,
something.
dude, I'm about to say-
I wanted to say Wilt, but I was like, go ahead and read me his stats.
I don't know if it might be over there.
Oh,
Wilt
that's
Chamberlain's
right.
stat. But Oscar Robertson,
Oh, it's right here.
so Oscar Robertson averaged for his rookie
I'm talking about
season,
Oscar Robertson. I know
Yeah.
Wilt. I know Wilt.
for his rookie season, averaged 30.5 points a game, 9.7 assists, and 10.1 rebounds.
Yeah, so he came right out the gate.
Yeah, right out the gate.
with those triple doubles.
I mean, that's pretty much a triple double.
yeah,
like, if we're
no,
being real.
absolutely.
Yeah, but
What was Wilt's?
30 and 23.
Yeah, I mean the 23 is pretty damning, but I mean like all around, whose team was made better? Because
Both their teams suck.
yeah, Wilt we know didn't win at all. There for a while.
I mean, I
don't
don't
know about
want to make
Oscar
this a Wilt Chamberlain podcast.
Well, they played in the same era. I mean, their
Yeah.
careers pretty much overlap.
Yeah,
Uh,
what, like 5-year difference? No, like
no,
3 years.
1 year.
One? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Wilt came in 1959, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and Oscar Robertson came in 1960, and he played 10 seasons with the Cincinnati Royals. That was what the team was called back then. And then he got tired of losing every single year, and he joined the Milwaukee Bucks
Nice.
for the last 4 seasons. Won a ring with Kareem too in 1971. He had to
Love
have
that
it.
for him.
Yeah, I was pretty happy that he won the ring. Like now that I know that he won a championship, because he wasn't in his prime at that point, and Kareem was clearly like the best player in the league or close to it at that point.
Yeah.
And so for him to get that championship, though, because that was like the knock on Oscar Robertson. Like Kareem didn't want to play with Oscar Robertson at first. I watched the Kareem documentary. He said he thought Oscar Robertson was a little too old and hadn't been proven as a winner yet. But they traded to get him because they had Kareem. It was like, we got to go for a championship.
Oh, yeah.
And they won. And apparently Oscar Robertson, he's got like a really rough, he's got like that Michael Jordan personality where he's like mean to everybody. And he got on Kareem's ass a couple times.
I don't think I've ever seen an Oscar Robertson interview.
I watched a couple. There was one with Chris Webber, but there's only so much Chris Webber I can listen to before I'm like, all right, this guy does not understand basketball and yet played it at the highest level.
Yeah.
Like his breakdown, he was trying to like break down Oscar Robertson, and he was like, yeah, you were good off the dribble. So like it's just like very. If you've ever listened to Chris Webber, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's tough.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it is definitely tough to listen to him. Dude, so what makes him so impressive, though, is he was 6'5", and he was averaging over 10 rebounds. He averaged 7.5 rebounds for his career. But his first couple years, 10, 12, 10, 9, and he was a 6'5" guard.
Sorry.
What happened?
We're trying to figure out how to get Brandon the baseball game over here.
Oh.
I wasn't going to mention that because we're doing something. But yeah, it's a World Series game too, and I just found out. But I used somebody's login. I'm sorry. I didn't even have to buy it. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
Okay. Back to Oscar Robertson.
No, but he was a really good rebounder.
It's Robertson or
Robertson.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Robertson.
This is bad.
Yeah.
I did the same thing.
He was a really good rebounder for a point guard. It's pretty crazy considering back then there was no 3-point line. So they weren't jacking up threes, and the league was dominated by big men. Like it's pretty impressive. He still got robbed he should have won the 1962 MVP.
Who won the 62 MVP?
Bill Russell.
Okay.
Yeah. It either should have been Wilt, because that was the season Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 and 25.
I gotta watch some of those games somehow. Is there like a streaming service where you can go back and watch? Like
you can go on YouTube and they got the full games.
Most of the times they're so
trash.
Oh, it's so hard. Like
you're saying
it's being classics. Like it looks pretty good. Like that would be fun. Bill Russell won the MVP. Oscar Robertson, Kareem.
You're saying
Jerry West.
What were Oscar's stats that year?
Wilt Chamberlain.
That was so loud. 1962, 30.8, 11.4, 12.5. That's a trip dub. That's the first ever. Dog, he's got to win it, man.
Okay, but
Wilt Chamberlain had a better season. I will admit to that.
How did Bill Russell win?
Players voted back then.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, it was exclusively players?
Players voted back then, yeah.
That's stupid.
You know, when was the first ever finals MVP given out? 1969. Jerry West won it even though they lost.
Oh, I remember.
And it's never been given to a losing team since.
They probably all decided they were like, that was
stupid. Yeah. It was their first time ever voting. Jerry West was clearly the best player in the series.
It was
like
hard to take that from him. But like,
would you be like if the losing team had, like, let's say LeBron when he was with Cleveland,
2015,
and that one series, like, would you be okay with a player on the losing team winning Finals MVP? If it was just like clearly, it was clear that was the best player on the court.
Yeah.
If it wasn't the 2015 and like, because like if on the other side it wasn't like Steph dropping ridiculous points or like KD going absolutely, because KD was that 2017.
No, that was before. That was I was talking about before.
I can see LeBron winning that series over Iguodala.
I think he should.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, yeah, I was wrong. Kevin Durant went off when he played though.
The only thing
Steph had a quiet series,
he did,
which is why Iguodala won.
But Iggy shouldn't have got it anyway, though. No. Like you give it to the guy that holds the guy to 36, 10 to 9. Like it just didn't make any sense.
No, you can come up with big blocks all you want to, but like that's great for the game. But like you can't give a Finals MVP. And I loved it.
I think they should have gave it to Steph, like honestly, because he was
That would've
the
been
best player on the best team. His numbers were like he was still averaging like 27. Like it wasn't like he fell off a cliff. He just had a bad couple games.
LeBron literally carried everything.
Yeah,
like,
it should have went LeBron.
Yeah, it would have caused a war.
Everybody
would have been like, just because it's LeBron.
It like,
that was incredible. I don't remember exact stats, but like what he fucking did.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I can't think of another.
That series shouldn't have been close at all.
Yeah, it shouldn't have. Especially when Kyrie went down.
Right.
Yeah,
like he just got better.
Dude,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Dude, when Kevin Love went down, I was like, well, that's a wrap on the season. And then they just kept winning throughout the playoffs. And I was like, dude, they might do it without Kevin. Because they were kind of tougher without Kevin Love. Kevin Love soft.
I remember a lot of scrutiny on him that year
Yeah.
because he was very soft.
Yeah. Well, it was clear when he came to Cleveland, he was accepting the third role. And he also just wasn't, because he had lost that weight, I don't think that, I think him losing that weight might have prolonged his career, but he was better when he was heavier. It was like Melo. Like Melo, when Melo was at his best, he was also probably at his heaviest. So it's like some guys, unfortunately, like Charles Barkley. If you made Charles Barkley slim down, because Charles Barkley was only like 6'5". If you made him slim down, he just wouldn't be as good as what he was.
The way he rebounded was, the round mound rebound. I don't know if there's ever.
We got to break him down eventually, dude. He was a beast.
Yeah, I just kind of assumed we already did because we've talked about him. I'm sure, like someone in depth in like a couple.
Yeah,
of
that's
podcasts.
true. Okay,
We
so
did Karl Malone for like. Didn't we do Tim Duncan?
Yeah, we did Tim
Karl Malone.
No, we haven't done Karl Malone yet.
Or sorry, no, we just talked about him a lot on the Tim Duncan podcast,
We talked.
but-
Well, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
I mean, when you mention great power forwards,
Yeah, we need to do Karl Malone.
Yeah,
and
we got to
Charles
do Karl Malone.
Barkley.
Karl Malone.
We should do him back to back.
Karl Malone was a bad guy.
He was
Very bad.
He was
a
not
profile.
the best guy ever.
I was about to say there's a lot of drama on that
Bruh.
one, so like it's definitely gonna be a fun one.
They. What about them leaving Kyrie off the NBA 75, but leaving Karl Malone on there? It's like, dude, like everyone knows what Karl Malone did. Like, it's not great, but whatever. Dude, do y'all think that? Do you think James Harden's washed up?
I wouldn't say that, but I mean, he's lost a lot of confidence with the rule changes for sure.
It affects him more than anybody.
Right, and the fucking coach, they were talking about Steve Nash was talking about it unfairly just singles him out and all this stuff. Like, yeah, because he fucking did it a lot. Didn't Steve Nash get really mad at Trey Young? He said that's not how you play basketball.
Yeah.
It's foul searching on like the reach in calls and shit like that.
Dude, isn't it
Fuck
crazy?
Steve Nash.
Like, I've been saying it forever that Harden's overrated, but now that the rules change, like, it shouldn't affect your game. But now you start to realize, like,
He's only shot like 10 free throws this season.
Yeah.
He shoots that in games. He shoots 20, 30 sometimes. Yeah.
he's averaging 3 a game.
Yeah.
That's like the
That's
lowest
crazy.
ever.
Yeah.
He had like 48 the first 3 games of the
See, he doesn't
last
really want
year.
to pull up deep. He
No.
wants you to slash across his arms.
Yeah.
When he makes those shots, he's just as fucking shocked as everyone else.
Yeah.
Now his confidence is gone.
Yeah. Kyrie needs to get vaccinated and just come back, dude. Because I don't think they're gonna win.
No, dude, the Hornets.
Yeah.
The Hornets stayed right. If we didn't give the ball away so many times, and LaMelo was great otherwise, but like if all those turnovers, we don't lose that game.
Dude, LaMelo's a beast.
He's insane.
He's legit,
I've been
man.
watching the highlights since.
I have.
I've been watching the highlights.
Did
and,
you see Miles Bridges get murdered?
No.
By Jaylen Brown? Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
I didn't watch the Celtics highlights.
Dude, Jalen
That looked like a good game.
put it on his head.
Miles Bridges had a pretty good dunk the other night too. That 360.
Dude, Miles Bridges, he's averaging like 25 and 8 or
He got
something like that.
Eastern Player of the Week last week.
He's a beast,
Yeah,
man.
dude. The team is
All-star.
It looking
Really
legit.
Could we have 2 All-Stars on the team? Is it possible?
They both work really well together. They're both going to be seeing a lot of minutes together.
It's gonna be tough.
If
Though.
LaMelo goes
Yeah.
off with all the assists,
LaMelo.
Bridges is going to go off.
LaMelo's the real deal. Like
he really
last
They
year, I
want
was a little
LaMelo to be an
hesitant.
All-Star. We'll have to see about Bridges, but they want LaMelo to be an
Dude,
All-Star.
you know, like
Lonzo, yeah.
Lonzo Ball is a baller too. Dude,
He's
both
had-
of
he's
them
had
are
some
great.
Dimes and his shooting
He's
left
such a
ridiculous.
good defender.
No, he really is turning into like an all around
Dude,
baller.
and I'm so happy for DeRozan, man. I've always liked DeRozan.
I thought it'd be cool to see him on San Antonio, and
Yeah.
I've never been more wrong.
Yeah, I know, right?
Was
It sucks that DeRozan wasn't on that championship team.
That's got to break his heart. They literally just switched him out for someone else, and they win a ring.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
it's all because LeBron
playoffs losses were and one of the two of them, or most of the times both, played like ass in the playoffs anyway.
Yeah,
But,
DeRozan, he's good against everyone but LeBron. Like whenever he plays LeBron, it's not good. I don't know.
LeBron made the Raptors his bitch for so long.
Dude, the announcers in Canada were calling it LeBronto. That's how bad it got.
Yeah,
it got so bad.
Fire them immediately.
Yeah,
like people were saying that. Don't you bring that into our house?
Yeah, no, that's not.
Sucks.
That's not
Dude,
okay.
It was demoralizing.
You know how much they have to like actually care to say that? Like they were pissed. That's why they said that shit. They were just like, suck.
What was that one
fit?
Was that one year the Raptors were better than the Cavs like all
2018
all year, and I think the Raptors like barely squeaked by in the first game.
No,
in, like overtime or something.
It went to overtime, but
they got swept because the Cavs.
LeBron was unbelievable in that
LeBron
series.
hit the game winner.
He hit a game winner.
And then they just dominated.
Yeah,
the next 3
was that that turnaround fucking jump shot?
That was the one where he hit.
It was on the left side, and it was
he hit a banker in the third game to win it.
Oh yeah.
Dude, LeBron, and the way he took that shot was so disrespectful too, because it's like, dude, that's a tough shot. Like he is just like, this the Raptors. Dude, my favorite thing, when someone made a parody of Drake's song "God's Plan" and called it "Bron's Plan," it's like he keeps hitting and threes. It was,
I'm glad I never saw that.
Dude, it was so funny. And then he was like, turn a 0-2 into a 0-3. He's talking about the Raptors.
Dude, the NBA Twitter specifically is absolutely brutal.
Yeah, it is.
I would be so scared to play in a game, like a big game, knowing that I'm in 8K. So
that brings me to the next question. How do you feel about Ben Simmons? How do you feel about the Ben Simmons situation now? Because last time it sounded like you were like, all right, he needs to like stop this and so they can at least increase his trade value. Now, how do you feel now that the mental health stuff has came out?
That was I didn't know anything just came out with that.
So apparently, he showed up to practice, right? But he was like had a phone in his pocket, not caring. Yep. And they fined him, and then the president, Daryl Morey, came out and was like, we will wait 4 years if we have to for a fair trade. And then Ben Simmons apparently cleared the air with him. And then he said he's not mentally ready to come back. So they stopped fining him. There's a lot of people that are saying he just came out with that so he would stop getting fined. But then there's a whole other section that's like, dude, if you even mention that someone's bullshitting about mental health, you're going to jail. So, so it's
you're
like
going to jail for being mean.
Yeah. So it's like, it's one of those things. So what do you think?
I feel like that was always, obviously.
Sounds like the way you described it. You just kind of said it. But I'd like to hear. I'd like to read a full article.
He's obviously going through it, man.
He's got to be going through it.
Toll that has to take on you. When everyone hates you.
Everyone hates you. No one wants you to play here. The franchise doesn't want you,
right?
And your teammate doesn't want you, and the coach doesn't want. It's got to be rough on him.
Yeah, especially after that Embiid thing came out, where he was just like,
"I don't care about that man."
Yeah, he was like, "I'm not a babysitter."
Dude, that's I do a pretty good Embiid, right?
Throwing him under the bus a little bit to
I do a pretty good Embiid, right?
No, it was pretty good.
You
I'm gonna try.
I don't care about that man.
Yeah. I feel like it's just your Shaq accent with a little bit of.
It is.
Was it Nigerian?
I don't know, man. I don't know where he's from.
I don't know. Cameroon?
It might be something like that.
I don't know.
I want to say Zimbabwe.
Videos of him playing basketball when he first obviously got into it kind of late. Like he first started. Dude was getting rebounds and jumping out of bounds because he went too far. He had no idea what the hell he was doing. And now he's out here. I would be pissed too if I was him, Ben Simmons. That man's injury-riddled career, and he knows it's going to keep happening. He had a chance to win a ring. Now it's evaporating in front of his eyes, and he's gonna get hurt. I would hate Ben Simmons too.
I think at this point, it's crossed over from we we can salvage this situation because he has to play. It's clear that this is, even if you get him back, he still doesn't want to be there. Dog, get CJ McCollum. Like, I don't know what's so bad about CJ McCollum. We're talking about a guy who averaged 14 points a game. Like, that's what Ben Simmons averaged. That's not superstar numbers.
He's got them long arms. He can play some defense.
Yeah.
Like, he'll get some rebounds. He's not a bad. He's like a, I don't want to say a poor man's Ben Simmons because the game's different. But like, what were they having to give up picks or something as well, or having they?
I don't know, but I think CJ McCollum. I would pick CJ McCollum over Ben Simmons. And I'm sorry, these people that are saying if Ben Simmons is in the right system, he could be like Giannis. No,
he said that.
That
was stupid. He said I could do something like that, and I wanted to reach through my phone and smack the motherfucker.
Giannis is a legitimate freak.
Yeah.
Giannis should not exist, but he does. He might be an Ellie. Like, he might be. Ben Simmons is very athletic. He's not Giannis. I've seen enough. He's just not. So I don't know why people are saying that, because at least Giannis will attempt a three. I mean, it's terrible every time.
Hey, I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah. He's been shooting a little bit this year.
If he's been working on that, he got his ring.
He really does look unstoppable.
He has his MVPs. The fuck does he have to worry about now? He's just gonna go out there and have fun. He's gonna, if he adds a jump shot,
he looks unstoppable,
dude. He's not gonna lose MVP for the next 5 years if he adds a jump shot.
I've always said Kevin Durant's better than him, but now I'm not
I don't think he can do as much. He's a better scorer, but he can't do as much.
Giannis is just so dominant. Like, Kevin Durant is really good and can score at will, but just something about Giannis just seems like his impact on the game is just
he does it all himself.
Does it. Yeah. On all sides of the court.
Then get down the court and fucking yam in your face.
And he's so long. And it's crazy. You just never seen anyone, or at least I haven't seen anyone that's been able, like, as long as his arms are, like, you forget sometimes he's far away from the basket and he can still dunk it. And you're like, what? How did he do that? He's very entertaining to watch. I will say that. Not the biggest fan. Sam, I wish you'd shut the hell up over there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sam is mailing it in this one.
Yeah, I'm over here watching a World Series. It hadn't started yet, but
Oscar Robertson was MVP in 1964.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. Jerry West said that Oscar Robertson was the best player of their generation. They asked Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in an interview. They said, what do you say to people who think Michael Jordan is the greatest player ever? And Kareem said, those people probably never watched Oscar Robertson play.
Wow.
And Kareem also said that on, it was either Undisputed or First Take or one of those horrible shows to Skip Bayless.
You know, it's crazy. People say the same thing about people who say LeBron's the GOAT.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably didn't watch Jordan.
I think it really just comes down to what era were you born in, and that's who you think is the GOAT.
Yeah, but Wilt Chamberlain's better than Oscar Robertson.
Stat-wise, it's no doubt. And I would say in every aspect, except for passing.
Does Oscar Robertson spit on people's heads?
Probably not.
Yeah,
maybe.
probably not.
I don't know. He never dunked.
That's a
you'll never see a video of him dunking.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he said that when he was playing in high school, he went up he dunked in practice, and his coach said, "If you ever do that again, you'll never play for me," or something. And so he was just like, but I think that has a lot to do with back then, like the NBA was relatively new. And so it was like the Harlem Globetrotters. And so the NBA was like, we don't want to be the Harlem Globetrotters. So it was kind of different than it is now. It's like less about showbiz. They didn't like showbiz. And even Wilt Chamberlain said that when he was on some Jimmy Kimmel something, and he was just like, if today's NBA, he was talking about Michael Jordan in the 90s. He was like, today's NBA is so much different. Michael Jordan can do a 360 dunk. If you did that in my era, they would sit you down. And you wouldn't be allowed to play. So it's just a different show business and stuff. It's just completely different. So,
but like, it's just like, what? You're just. It's the easiest shot. You're just putting the ball in the basket. You get above the rim and you put the ball in the basket. How can a coach argue against taking the easiest shot available?
You're right. But you also got to figure the NBA back then was way more horizontal than vertical. So there probably wasn't a lot of people dunking back then.
Where was basketball invented, Sam?
Canada.
No, it was Massachusetts.
I thought it was Canada.
I'm pretty sure it
was James Naismith.
I'm pretty sure it's Massachusetts. I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, you got to look it up because I'm pretty sure you're pretty sure. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Naismith, and I'm pretty sure it was like at a university in Boston.
Well, maybe he's Canadian. That's what.
My point was it was a sport dominated by small white men.
By whites.
Yeah, it was a small white men. They couldn't reach the rim when they got a high.
Right.
Not as small as you would think, though.
Well, I'm sure.
The average height
was
of
it
an
always
NBA
10
player.
foot when they?
Yeah, I believe it was always 10 foot.
I'm sure the NBA. Yeah. So
back then, though, the average height of an NBA player was 6'6", and today it's 6'7". So
serious?
they were still massive people.
I didn't think dudes were that big back then.
You know, Jerry West,
a freak and said, "Get on the basketball court."
Jerry West was like 6'4".
Yeah,
and I mean, he was considered a guard. So yeah, they had some height. It's just now the guys are clearly more athletic.
My only point is it doesn't take a whole lot of brain cells to realize that, like if you're getting a scoop of ice cream and putting it in a bowl, do you just drop it in the bowl or do you lob it from a foot away into the bowl? What's the easiest way to get the ice cream into the bowl?
It's a solid analogy.
Just drop it, right?
No,
so
right.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it either. I don't know why, but that's what they said, and that's what he said in the interview. So.
That's such an old coach thing.
Yeah, it is.
You will never play for me again if you put that there basketball.
If you score the easiest 2 points available, one more goddamn time.
That's funny.
That's insane, man. Like that was,
dude. I got a dude that I work with named Kareem Hakeem.
Nice.
I walked by.
I would say his first and last name.
I walked by his desk. He wasn't there, but I was like around like other people, and I was like, "We got a guy here named Kareem Hakeem." It was like, "Yeah." It's like, "Does he have impeccable footwork?" and they didn't. I don't think they quite understood what I meant by that.
They were like, "Oh, it might be racist. Oh, it might be racist."
They were like, "Is he a?" He actually does run marathons. I was like, "That's not what I was." But that's
sure.
Oh my god. Dude, he was from 1960 to 1965. He pretty much averaged a triple-double. That's really impressive.
And that was what year did he stop with the how many years in a row you said it was?
From about 5 years.
5 years?
He averaged a triple-double over those 5 years.
And what were those years?
1960 to 1965.
All right, I don't even remember what year Russ broke that record.
2017.
17?
Yeah.
It was after 2 years after KD, 1 or 2. It might have been the next year. Honestly.
No, it was 2. Was it the next year after?
I know he went crazy because people were like, "Oh, okay,
it was the next year after."
Like, oh shit! They said
it was the next year after.
Fuck it, feed him the ball, let him get the rebounds.
It was the next year after because KD left and Russ just went bananas.
Yeah,
and just like throwing up garbage.
The rest of the team probably hated him except for Steve Adams.
Yeah, I mean, but if you're on that team though, and he's averaging a triple double, like part of you is like, dude, this is historic. Like, let's help him get it, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm sure, like, it's got to be tough.
He yelled at me in practice the other day.
Yeah,
he yelled at me real bad. I'm gonna throw that bounce. Fuck him.
He looked good last night for the Lakers. Yeah, he had like 33 and 10.
Yeah, he came out the gate slow. I knew that was gonna be a work in progress though, trying to figure out how his game is gonna work out there. But I mean, shit, it'll be a fun finals. I'll enjoy watching it. I don't think I'm gonna protest until then.
They were like ready to call it a failed experiment after 3 games.
That's what they did. So you remember what they did with Miami when they struggled?
Yeah, they went 9-9.
Yeah, and people were like, "Oh, ha 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 ha! They're gonna be fucking terrible and all this stuff." Like, no, they're not.
There were so many people picking the Bulls over them, and I was like, guys, it's not gonna happen.
Dude, the Bulls are nice this year, though.
The Bulls are nice. I think the Bulls.
Lonzo, Lamelo, 1 and 2 in the East.
In basketball, the most talented teams always figure it out.
Yeah.
You're just
eventually
get to a 7-game series where a team has to beat you.
Everyone said when KD joined the Warriors, oh, there's only one ball and stuff. They work perfectly. They're the best team ever.
They should have known just from based off of how Steve Kerr's offense works with Steph out there. Like,
I'm ready for them to get Clay back, man.
Dude, Clay, it makes me so sad. I'm sure I mentioned this last time. I thought he was going to be back like at the beginning of the season, close to it. He's been gone for what seems like 5 years.
Yeah.
It's been at least 2.5.
Yeah, it has. Because he tore his ACL and then tore his Achilles. I think it's the same leg, too.
Yeah.
Sad.
That sucks.
Yeah,
he was mad.
He'll be fine.
He was mad. He said on Twitter, he was like, I've been up all night. I can't sleep. Pissed.
Yeah. It's tough because he is one of the greatest shooters ever. But
was Ray Allen on the list?
Yeah, I'd assume Ray Allen. Ray Allen has to be on the list.
Right.
Ray Allen was really good.
Yeah, for sure. But like, Clay's a better just spot up shooter.
Yeah,
like,
spot up shooter.
We're talking about Clay versus Ray Allen?
Yeah.
It's close.
Ray Allen. I'm going Ray
Allen.
I think Ray Allen wouldn't miss. Clay might be a better shooter during like the regular season, but if you put him like 1-on-1, I think Ray Allen's probably gonna. Ray Allen's just clutch, man.
He's clutch. I mean, yeah, but like
the clutchest shot in NBA history.
What do the percentages say?
I don't know. I don't have. I'm just going off of.
No, I want to see Ray Allen.
And Ray Allen transitioned into a 3-point shooter because when he came into the league, he was a straight hooper.
He lost that hair and he was like,
yeah.
Pop this rock.
I think Reggie Miller played in the wrong era. If Reggie Miller played in today's game, I think he'd be like, you would see him pulling up 30 feet. He would shoot. He averaged like 4 threes a game.
Yeah,
he'd shoot at least 10 today. He would be a 30-point a game scorer. He'd be Bradley Beal.
Yeah, he still look weird as shit though.
Yeah, he's so skinny. Oh my god, he doesn't look healthy. Like he looks like sick.
He does look sick. It's his eyes too.
So 41.9% career from 3 for Clay.
Wow.
40% for Ray Allen. So the percentages say Clay.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, did Ray Allen do it on like 6 dribbles? Did he make like, was it 30 something points?
No, Ray Allen probably didn't do that.
He goes unconscious more than I've seen anybody go unconscious.
He's definitely the definition of a microwave. Yeah.
Like what did he do? Like, what was it? 37 points in a quarter or something?
Yeah, and like he did it on like just a few dribbles. Like basically, he was just getting to the spot. They knew he was going to get to the spot. He'd barely get it off sometimes, and it was like the exact same swish every single time. Like that
just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. I mean, he's tall. It's hard to block.
He's what, like 6'5", 6'6"?
Yeah, he's got them long arms. Like,
yeah, he's a good defender too.
He is. Yeah, and like it's just incredible. And Ray Allen, I don't remember watching as much.
Dude, he was a beast.
As I've seen of Clay.
I didn't watch a lot of Ray Allen either.
But I remember a lot of his threes being like, I mean, also just in the corner.
Yeah, all the Ray Allen that I watched was in Boston
and then Miami. Yeah. Hey, he had Game 6.
He had good years in Boston.
Oh yeah, he had a couple of
years. They thought the play was done. He was just hanging out over there, like, I'm gonna get that chance.
Yeah.
And Chris Bosh was just the fucking beast that he is, and just tipped it back out.
And he followed up that game with a 0-point performance in Game 7.
Who, Chris Bosh?
Yeah, he used to disappear. He was the original Kevin Love. He would absolutely disappear.
Would you take Kevin Love or Chris Bosh?
Chris Bosh.
I would take Chris Bosh every day of the week, twice on Sunday. I love Chris Bosh, man. Yeah. Chris Bosh give you solid defense. He'll hit a big shot. Like, that's all you need.
I was mad when he cut his hair. He looked a lot less like dangerous. He looked like he didn't look like. He looked goofy when he had like short hair.
Yeah,
he looked like a raptor.
His eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he left the Raptors. And when he cut his hair,
all dinosaur.
He was all dinosaur team. But like on the Raptors, I couldn't tell. He was like, damn, that guy's a fucking monster. And then he came to Miami, cut his hair off, and I was like, who's this fucking goofball?
That sucks.
Looking weird.
It
dude.
sucks.
Now he just looks like a regular.
He retired in his prime.
Yeah. That damn blood clot, man.
Yeah, that was unfortunate to see.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I wanted him because I feel like with his game, he could have been good until his late 30s.
Probably
serviceable until his
because he'd have transitioned more and more to the 3-point line.
Yeah,
he'd have basically He'd have been like
Lots of
Ibaka.
tips. Lots of tips.
He'd have basically been like Ibaka,
Yeah.
except for probably better. Yeah, Chris Bosh was better than Ibaka.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like defensively,
Ibaka's pretty good
just because he
defensively.
can bounce for as big as he is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see how you don't get your shot blocked. If he sees you shoot, I don't see how you don't get blocked.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, Oscar Robertson actually, he was a 12-time All-Star.
Damn.
He's the first overall pick too.
Well, how many total years did he play?
14.
Yeah, I was about to say it wasn't that long.
No.
So 12 All-Star appearances.
12 All-Star appearances, yeah.
He came in and
Well, he came right out of the
What
gate.
years didn't he make it? Like the last 2 years or something?
I'd assume the last 2 years, dog, it was a
Because
struggle.
he had to have made it his rookie year.
He, in 1972-73, averaged 15.5, 7.5, and 4.9. And then his last year, 74, 12.7, 6.4, and 4.0. So it dropped off a cliff there towards the end. But I'm glad he got his championship, though. Dude, that was arguably one of the greatest teams ever, 1970-71. They had basically a prime Kareem. And I think at that time he was averaging like 34 and 16, like just dominating the NBA. And they went 66 and 16, and they had the number one offense and the number one defense in the league.
Damn.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
in the playoffs they 5-game sweep, and then a sweep for the finals. Like they were just so dominant. But yeah, I don't really know. I don't know why he didn't win more. He only won one championship.
The Royals must have fucking
Yeah, they
sucked.
must have sucked. Well, he also kept running into Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
How many years was he with the Royals?
10 seasons.
Was he making the playoffs though? So he was facing.
Yeah, he was making the playoffs, but they just never were. He was basically Dominique Wilkins.
Hmm.
You know?
That was
You
another
said
guy I was talking about.
everyone back then made the playoffs, right? 8 teams, everyone made the playoffs.
I think
or
I
was it 6 teams?
it's
that
6
made the
teams
playoffs?
made the playoffs.
And then the top 2 got a bye. Yeah.
Yeah. So they played 3 rounds.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It's funny you say Dominique Wilkins. When you asked me who we were doing today,
Mhm.
I was thinking when I was looking around, I was thinking Dominique Wilkins, or I also thought Cedric Mullin or Mullen.
Chris Mullin.
Chris Mullen.
Yeah.
Cedric Mullen's a baseball player. I apologize. Yeah, no, Chris Mullen. And the only reason I even knew his name, I looked up the stats and I was like, oh, never mind.
Mhm.
He was good and everything.
He made the
but,
dream team.
Yeah, he apparently he was pretty good for that as well, because that's what I was reading. But the only reason I knew his name was because for some reason rappers love him. I've heard his name in so many rhymes. I was just like, I gotta figure out who this guy is.
Yeah, I don't think
I've.
I haven't done much research on him, but from
I
what I
thought
hear,
Oscar Robinson would be a more an easier one.
Yeah, just because like he's the triple double guy, you
Mhm.
know, and it just shows you like he had no idea what it would
Yeah.
become. Like it would mean so much.
Do you have any like Oscar Robinson stories? Like
No,
you've always got stories about.
not me. Unfortunately,
Like, you
he's
didn't
one of
watch
those
any Oscar
guys.
Robertson-
I did.
Robertson
I did
interviews
watch
or-
a couple, but honestly, unfortunately, he's as dry as the John McCain speech
Okay.
back in the day. Like, he unfortunately there's a reason why you never saw him on TV after he retired. I don't know how Bill Russell got those jobs, man. Bill Russell was rough to listen to too. Yeah. No, but it's just so that begs the question then. He averaged a triple double. Is what Russell Westbrook doing now that Russell Westbrook's averaged it 4 out of the last 5 seasons, is that more impressive than Oscar? Like, who is Mr. Triple Double?
I think. So Russell Westbrook hasn't been doing it as long, right? Like 5 years.
It's about the same because
Four
we're
years.
5 for Oscar.
5 total. How many years
5 in a
straight
row.
has Russell?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 of the last. Okay.
Yeah, so he did it.
So right off the bat, I would say it's more impressive to average a triple double in today's NBA than it was back then because of the pace of play.
Well, you're getting more opportunities for rebounds also because.
But what about a 3-point
Right, that's
shot,
what I'm saying.
making longer rebounds so guards get more boards?
Good point. Really good point. But the pace of play was still
It was pretty
like
fast back then.
20% higher or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you said there's no 3-point line to win.
There was no 3-point line until 1976.
Yeah, I remember you said at some point, but like I would imagine the pace of play would be pretty fast.
It was fast as hell back then.
Yeah, they were trying to get to the paint. They were trying to run transition fast.
Yeah, it was crazy fast back then. Also, the shooting percentage was
and
like
that applies
30%.
to all three categories, right? It applies to points, assists, and rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
More shots up, more passing because it's faster pace means more points, rebounds, and assists.
But like you said, Oscar didn't know he was doing it.
That's what I'm. That's the difference.
He was getting those stats.
Yeah, I think Oscar. Although there was talk about him being too ball dominant and stuff back then.
He had to be the team.
Yeah.
So I would imagine they're making the playoff with the skin of his teeth. I'd fucking let it ride. Russell, they're out of all the however many games it was like 109 or something.
I don't know.
I don't remember what the record was, but like how many of those were they down 25 and he was just nabbing boards, or like up 25-30 and he's just nabbing boards?
There's a couple of those, and I hate seeing that. Like it doesn't.
Well, like Lamelo's been doing that shit, but like Russ, like I mean, he would jump in the way of other, like
yeah.
That's why I would think Oscar's more impressive because he was getting those stats. Period.
Yeah, he just played like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're both pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, I'm going with right because the other thing is the field goal percentage was lower. It was like 40% across the board back then.
Yeah, but Oscar Robertson, I think, for his career shot like 47%.
Well, I'm talking about available rebounds.
Oh yeah, you're right.
If we're talking about rebound chase, I just feel like that offsets. Like sure, Russ stat chases a little bit, but I just don't think that makes up a huge percentage of his rebounds, personally, or his assists.
John Sally, who played with the Bad Boy Pistons, and I think actually won a ring with Michael Jordan as well. He did an interview with Vlad TV, and on that interview, Vlad asked him who Michael Jordan thinks is the GOAT. And John Sally said, if you ask Michael that, he'll say Oscar Robertson.
A lot of people saying that Mike would say that Oscar Robinson's fucking.
I was about to say, if Mike really felt that way, he'd probably come out and say that. I don't think Mike thinks anyone's the GOAT but him. It's the same way with Kobe and all those guys.
I mean, literally, when he was asked LeBron or Kobe, he was like, I have to say Kobe because he steals all my... Like, he had to make it about him. I have to say Kobe because he steals all my moves. Yeah, it's like, you got to make it about you.
Yeah, that's who Michael Jordan is.
Yeah.
That's,
He should take the Hornets not being competitive for a long time a lot more personally than.
He should be.
Yeah.
He said he took.
The problem is being an NBA executive, taking things personally doesn't get you nearly as far.
He was a bad GM too for the Wizards. Like what he did.
I forgot it was.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's
how long.
So he was a GM when he retired. I think in like 2000 or 2001, he became a GM and he decided to come back and play. And he drafted Kwame Brown.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And here's the thing: if you go back and look at Kwame Brown's like first game, he had a really good game. Like he was really like athletic and like really good. And then they said like Michael Jordan just bullied him. Like
I've heard stories.
And
he went off on that tangent,
demoralized him. Yeah, and it really just messed up. Yeah.
He said he was bullied pretty bad.
And it just like ruined his confidence. And the
yips are real.
They would work him out for like 3 hours before the game, and then have him play and not put him in until they're like down by 20, and then yell at him because he's not playing well. And it's like, well, dude, he's tired. Why would you work him out like that?
That's just that's extreme bullying.
Yeah, like they said like in one, Michael Jordan used to call him a couple words that are not accepted today, but. And then he like kicked the ball into like the upper stands or whatever, and like would have Kwame go fetch it, like just crazy.
The fact that Kwame must be a very, very nice.
Well, he was 17. He was 17, so he's a kid, and he's looking at Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player ever.
He could probably still whoop his ass at that size.
Yeah, but
what an asshole, man! Like
that's just horrible.
Yeah,
I said the same thing like when we were talking about the Last Dance documentary. MJ, like, he is an asshole. He is an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, that has nothing to do with how good a player he is. Like, as a person, the dude was an asshole.
Yeah.
through his
No,
whole
he's a
playing
terrible.
career and then on the Wizards.
He literally had a documentary. Like he approved that documentary to go out like the day after LeBron won his third ring, like the 2016. He approved the documentary. I mean, that's just that's how all those guys are, though. You know, like LeBron
Not
paid
all
10.
of not all of them were bullying.
No,
other
not
teammates the
bullying,
way MJ
but
was.
like LeBron paid some college kid 10 grand because he dunked on like the kid dunked on LeBron and had a video of it. Paid him 10 grand for
I
the
heard
video.
about that.
Yeah, just like crazy jump, you know. And now, like, if that video got out, it would not matter one bit.
I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, it does
Like,
sound
that
a little
just
fake.
seems
Do
really
you
fake.
think Delonte West slept with LeBron's mom? I do.
I don't know, man.
There's
like,
pictures of them online together, like Delonte and his mom. I think.
well, is that how the rumor started? Because the
I don't
pictures
know.
were there, and then
I
people
heard
were
the
like, "Oh, he
rumor-
definitely slept."
I heard the rumor from Eddie Griffin on Netflix, one of his stand-up comedy shows, and he was just like, "Y'all know he left because Delonte West sleeping with his mama," and the crowd went crazy because he was in Cleveland. I was like, "All right." I know.
I don't know. I mean, maybe, but like,
I love Delonte
but
West.
like, why would Delonte do that?
I don't know. But Delonte clearly throughout his hey dude, can you give me something to can you give me a Coke Zero?
Okay.
No, let's get loose.
Dude, get me one too.
Where are they at?
We are getting
Right behind you.
up in here.
Yeah, we only got about
A little bit of caffeine.
we only got
no
about
sugar.
15 minutes left. I mean, let's be real. Sam ran out of things to talk about in the first 10 minutes.
Dude, I was
Nah, but I mean, I think that
hell yeah.
I think that he kind of Michael Jordan.
Matt
He is
says
an
now
ass,
more than
but it's also
no.
would he be as good as he was if he didn't have that type of personality?
Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
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 It has nothing to do with it.
You think so?
No, okay. Sorry. Let's not get having a killer instinct and an extreme competitive drive confused with being an asshole.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Those are two different things. And I do think that maybe there is some overlap by that. I mean, if you're a more competitive person, you're maybe more prone to being an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still two different things. LeBron or MJ could have been extremely nice, but just as competitive and would have been just as successful. Possibly more successful because he would have gotten more out of his teammates.
That's true.
No, but what if Scottie Pippen was a lazy piece of ass, really, and Rodman would have never came back?
I just don't think people respond to
you're
negative reinforcement.
You're 100% right. I just think it's
Not like screaming and humiliating someone, but there are people that like you need to light a fire underneath them.
Okay, sure, but lighting a fire again. There's a distinction between lighting a fire and embarrassing somebody.
Oh yeah, no, you're not gonna get the best.
Yeah, I don't do
There's a way
well with that.
to have respect for somebody and also light a fire.
I immediately start just being like, if someone is like being ultrally, I guess like trying to be mean or something, I just always go like, hey, I don't know what you're always trying to like do like that. I don't know why, but I always do that. And it's yeah, I don't know. I don't respond well to someone like screaming at me. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Can you imagine being in the military and like those guys are yelling in your face like that, and you just can't do anything? You can't. I would cry.
Yeah.
You're screaming in my face and I can't hit you. Like I'm gonna cry.
Well, apparently now I had some buddies from high school that went through boot camp and they became like reserves or whatever. And they were saying like now they can't, they're not as, they'll still yell at you and like stuff, but it's definitely not what it used to be, you know?
No, I mean, I swear to God, I used to watch like old shit. They would be like legitimately whooping their ass and shit. And like, that's just like, what are you going to do about it? Take you to military jail.
It's so funny, like, because I hear my dad talk about it, and sometimes he'll bring it up, and he'll just be like, "Yeah, you know, they don't treat them like how they did when we were going through it or something." And I was like, that's what every old person says. But then when I heard like my friends, like they're like, "Oh yeah, if you didn't want to shave, you just like got you could do like a certificate or something, and they wouldn't make you shave and stuff like that. I was like, dude, like, they didn't do that back in the day. Back in the day, they didn't give a shit about acne. You're gonna have to show it. Like,
You got like a blood beard.
yeah, yeah. Like now, it's like if you you don't have to get your hair cut a certain way and stuff. Like they've kind of laxed a little bit on the rules, which is probably a good thing. You know,
Yeah,
like who gives a fuck?
Join anymore? People are like, no, fuck you. Yell in my face.
You can make some pretty good, you can make some pretty good money because I think like you don't have to pay state tax or something like that. So, and if you're living in the barracks and stuff, like not having to pay for housing or food.
I mean, they had to add a bunch of incentives.
Yeah,
I mean, we just wouldn't go to work. Can you imagine our generation in World War II?
Would have been fucked.
Would have been fucked. We'd be speaking German right now. Like, we're Japanese. Whoever ended up winning that war, because they fought each other. I feel like, but like,
I have no idea.
I don't know, but like, it's incredible because I wouldn't have gone. You fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm going to Canada, bitch.
Oh, that's a good idea. Canadians and who they fight with?
I'll be cold for a few years. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't think Canada ever gets into a fight.
No. Well, nobody wants to take a fight with Canada. They're like so huge and they go hide in the woods. You wouldn't find them.
It's crazy that they have 30 million people in Canada, and Canada's the second biggest country in the world.
It's fucking huge, but I feel like a big portion of that is like just
ice.
Like it's completely
you can't live
uninhabitable. And like just
polar bears up there too.
Yeah.
Those big moose. You ever seen a moose?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Dude, they are huge.
Dude,
if I saw one,
I didn't realize.
You don't realize how big they are until you see a car.
Yeah, I saw YouTube videos with them.
When they're like running in the street and you're like, what is that thing?
That thing would knock your car straight
Dude,
over.
did you know that elephants masturbate, but they don't have arms, so they just rub their dick up against like a rock?
They must have a chafed
Dude,
dick.
You know, elephants too, like they hold grudges and shit. Like
elephants are smart.
Yeah, dude, they're like mystic animals.
They're like as smart as dolphins.
Yeah. They were talking about how farmers, they always, like farmers out there, they're so worried about elephants because elephants will just come in and you can't stop an elephant. It'll just eat everything.
No elephant traps.
Yeah, so what they'll do is they'll plant hot peppers and the elephant will eat it. And then like the hot peppers, and then okay, stay away. That's what they try to do. But they said like there's like the story of like this elephant that people were trying to catch it, I guess, or trying to get it away. And like one woman in the situation was like, no, let the elephant go. And the next day the elephant like destroyed the person's house, but left the woman's house that was right beside it okay, because then they were thinking that the elephant was like, oh, I remember you, like you helped me out. So I don't know if that's true or not. You never know with these stories, but I think elephants
don't forget. That's the only thing I know about elephants.
Yeah, they're pretty cool animals.
They have like there was that one elephant that could paint. Did y'all see that?
I did not see that.
It was like an elephant that could paint.
I'd pay to see that.
And then they have like funerals. People like they have like ceremonies for the elephants that die. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, they've been observed to like herds of elephants.
Did you ever see the gorilla that could sign language? Coco the gorilla?
Coco. Dude, Coco. Yeah. Crazy.
That gorilla could sign like all this different stuff, but that gorilla never asked a question. Isn't that weird?
That's weird.
Why would it not ask a question?
That probably just shows that it was like very basic level. Like it's not really responses as much as when I see this, do this. Not much introspection going on there by that gorilla.
Dude, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a gorilla, but like just being across from that thing, signing it, just praying to God that it does not figure out that it's a gorilla and it's gonna kill you.
Sitting there like, I love you, I hug you. It's like,
break your neck.
You know what you're capable of.
Those gorillas are so strong. They'll rip your arms off. Like they're that strong. Like people don't realize how strong those animals are. And they're just sitting there like treating it.
There was this video.
They're giant. They're fucking muscular.
There was this video of Mr. Rogers meeting Coco the gorilla, and as you could tell, Mr. Rogers was scared as shit. Like "Oh, hello, Coco." And he was like really skittish, like getting close to him. He's like,
I would be. There's no
he's like,
guarantee that fucking thing's not
and
gonna
Coco
fucking
told
work.
him like, "I love you." And he's like, "I love you too, Coco."
I hate
Coco makes a movie. That would have been funny as hell.
if you ever
Coco says,
do
"I beat your ass."
if you ever do come in contact with like a monkey or a gorilla
Oh,
or primate, what do you do if you
Beat
like?
your chest.
How do you show that you're not? How do you show that you're not
Threat.
a threat?
You
Take a
You
dump
bend down,
in
don't look
front
them in the face, and you offer your hand.
You do. Ooh, ooh. That's
That
like
looks
a sign.
aggressive to me.
No,
I
no.
wouldn't be able to
So
confidently do that. That looks
with monkeys and primates, if you smile, show your teeth, that's when they see aggression. So if you
Oh,
look at a
shit.
gorilla and go like that, they
Oh,
don't
shit.
know it's not. So you go ooh, 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 like that, and they know
It's like the opposite of humans, because if a human came up to me and was like,
Yeah.
I would take that as a sign of aggression.
Well, what if
Yeah.
someone smiled at you and you took that as a sign of aggression?
You're like, "Fuck you, Steve."
No, but I was always.
Dude, we should turn this into an animal intelligence podcast.
Dude, we've just given up on pickleball.
Hey, I'm down to play.
I'm waiting for the
I'm
time.
ready right now.
Y'all both never. You're in Las Vegas, or
Dude, this
Louisville,
this
and you're in fucking.
me and Sam
California,
aren't even
Florida.
friends anymore. Sam doesn't even text back or anything.
Dude, I've been traveling lately.
I have
man,
to,
and
dude.
Look how fucking tan. Look
Yeah,
at
he is
dude,
tan.
He looks like a Honduran with a wig. Every time he goes to the beach, this man tans so ridiculously. When he used to be a lifeguard, I wish we had pictures, and I wasn't smart enough to take a picture. That shit was funny as hell to me. You changed colors like
I did.
completely.
Yeah.
I delivered to swim club management the other day. They're
Oh, you mean like The Office?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of dumb fucks in there, man. They're
They're all like
just a bunch of idiots.
they're just like really bubbly and like
Nice enough people.
nice. Yeah.
But Oscar Robinson though.
That's all I had on him. If I'm being honest, I didn't have much. Honestly, unfortunately, there's just not a lot of footage of him and stuff.
Well,
It sucks.
Yeah, it'd be difficult.
But you can watch that the year they won the championship. You can watch
Yeah.
that on
Oh,
YouTube,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go watch some of his old.
He had a
games.
broke
Let's get
jump
some
shot,
perspective.
son. Ooh, that
Yeah.
jumper, he had a hitch in it.
That sucks. You can't dunk, and you just gotta shoot.
When he started playing basketball, they taught him to shoot it underhanded, his free throws.
Jesus, that's how
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Oh,
And,
they were
he
we
was
can't
like-
fix this.
Yeah, he was like, that just does not work for me. And so he actually became very good at free throws. He was like one of the all-time greats in free throws. So that's another fun fact about him. He was also a 3-time All-Star MVP.
Nice.
Just saying.
I mean, when you go 12 times,
When
Yeah.
you go 12
you're
times,
just gonna win a few of them.
but still, yeah.
No, it's impressive.
Dude, Anthony Davis has the most points ever in an All-Star game.
That's
52.
boring.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
They were all
what were the
dunks.
scores of the All-Star games
ridiculous.
back in the 60s and 70s?
I bet they played a
I
lot
don't
more
know.
defense. I bet it was more like a real game.
Yeah, it's probably more like a real game.
Dude, the All-Star games, like the effort wise and like stuff, I don't really ever watch and stuff, but like it turns out, obviously, you go back in time, older games and stuff. I watched because there was this catcher who played for, I forget who. He died recently, and like he was mostly known for getting his shoulder busted in a game by Pete Rose, who dove home and just took him out completely, broke his arm, ruined his career. That was a fucking All-Star game. He ruined his career in an All-Star game
Yeah.
because he wanted to score so bad. Like nowadays, they don't. Do you like the?
That's why they don't try.
Yeah, exactly. Like fucking Pete Rose's dick, and he didn't even like look down and go, "Oh, Jim, I'm sorry." He was just like celebrating, scoring in the All-Star game. This shit was ridiculous.
No, I mean, I don't like the new format and stuff.
I hate the new.
Yeah, it's. I'm
You
not.
don't like it?
It's
You wish it was East and West?
no, not that. That I don't
Scoring.
mind. I don't like the way they do like the quarters and then they add up to like it's a little bit too clunky for me.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with just having a normal NBA game and guys just out there competing? You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Lob
what I
City
want.
fucking doing
I don't know
crazy
how you
shit.
do it.
Oh.
I don't know how you do it unless there's got to be some sort of like incentive for these guys to go really hard. And I think, I don't know exactly how they do it, But there's got to be something because the last couple All-Star games have been rough to watch.
Why can't we get one-on-ones
Yeah.
during All-Star weekend?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if they're not going 100%. I want to see, like,
You'll see
you
crazy.
always
Or
talk
bring
about,
back Horse.
you always talk about, like who would win one-on-one. Like Melo, LeBron, or Kobe or
They
whoever.
probably don't want to do it themselves then because since they won't be able to, their teams won't want them to go 100%. And then they'll be like, they saw me lose.
I wish I
Yeah.
could have seen Bron in the All-Star dunk contest.
Yeah.
That would have
He is selfish. For never
Yeah,
doing
for
that.
real. He should have gave us one.
Yeah.
Even if it was bad, it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
I think that's what he's
it
worried
would have been
about.
fun, even if he fucked up. And like,
Yeah.
it would have been fun to watch.
Dude, Dwight Howard was a really good dunker.
It would have just been so hyped,
Yeah, it would have
like
been.
so incredibly hyped that if he didn't just have completely, like, if he finished second, he wouldn't have heard the end.
Yeah, there was a lot of
He
pressure.
had to win.
That's true.
He should have done it like his rookie year or something. You know, like Kobe did.
Yeah.
Just do it real quick, get
Yeah.
the pressure off. They know where you're at. But he just didn't. And then the longer he waited, and then, you know, by the time he's 30, everyone was like, oh, he's on the decline. But then he had like 8 other good years after that. And it's like, I still think he
Very
was
slow decline.
Yeah, very slow. But it is a decline. So it is, can't no longer play 48 minutes of hard defense. But still give you 25 and 8.
Hey, you gotta give something up.
Yeah, you
Keep
do.
playing.
Yeah, you do. Unfortunately, they're asking you to take, because he might be one of the best playmakers ever. Like, I mean, as far as,
I mean, he is one of the best.
I'm saying, though, he might be the best. Like, when you talk about someone that can score and then distribute the way he can, we've never really seen someone outside of LeBron do that before. Magic Johnson, but Magic Johnson wasn't near the scorer that LeBron was. So it's like, for him, on offense, he has to do everything. And so on defense, it's like, dude, he's not 25 anymore. You know, like, he does have to pick possessions. That's why you can't have him on a Kevin Durant the whole game. So it's just not offense. You still have to be able to score. So it's like, yeah. And unfortunately, up until this year, they've never really had, well, Kyrie. Kyrie could get his own shot anytime. But that's one of the problems. Like, LeBron's never had a consistent, like, hey, I'm tired. Can you run the show for a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Like, even when he had Kyrie and Kevin Love, when he was off the court, they were like the 3rd worst offensive team in the league. They were worse than the 76ers that year. And the 76ers were tanking.
That's wild.
Yeah, so it's like, when you have a guy that's that much of a, it hides a lot of those problem areas that don't show up until the NBA Finals. When
Anybody can make a shot wide open because they got 3 guys.
in 2017, when LeBron was on the court against the Warriors, they were like 1 point worse. But when he was off the court, they were like minus 30. And it's like, well, so LeBron has to play 48 minutes or we just don't have a shot at all. So it's like one of those things.
Well, that's another huge case for him winning the MVP that year.
Yeah.
Because literally most valuable player, if he goes out and it's a 30-point fucking swing.
Yeah. Well, to me, his greatest, I know he didn't win a championship in 2018, but that playoff run, they shouldn't even, that team should not have gotten out of the first round of the playoffs. And for them to run, and then
first cast team.
Yeah, that's true. Like, that 2018 run was, dude, I'm telling you, Cleveland LeBron the second time, he was, the more and more I look at it, that might be the best version of LeBron. Like, because I always said Miami, but the more and more I look at it, dude, he was fucking amazing.
All 3 versions of LeBron.
Been pretty fucking good.
He's
None
got-
of them
he's
have
got
been
prime in
bad.
each jersey.
He really does. He
Yeah.
really does. All right, dude, let's wrap it, man. Oscar Robertson, he was pretty solid, you know?
Pretty solid. Not as good as Wilt.
No, but where would you rank him all time?
I would say, like, offhand, he's probably barely in my top 10,
I would say
which I think
top
is
10.
pretty respectful.
I can't
right?
go.
Like,
I
mean,
can't go any higher.
Most people would go like top 15, not top 10.
I would go
Like,
top 10. Though.
Most people
Dog,
would go
those
top 10,
numbers.
you think? Oh, they're ridiculous.
Most people our age would not. go Oscar Robertson
No,
top 10.
they would have
Dude,
heard about the same way I did.
I've
But we
seen-
respect our elders.
I've
on this
seen Wilt
podcast.
Chamberlain like number 9 all time on people's lists. I'm like, bro,
Stupid.
y'all are out of your mind.
Who?
Stupid.
Wilt, like
Behind
I've seen,
Kobe.
yeah. Literally, they'll have Shaq over him. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are y'all talking
Behind
about?
Tim Duncan.
Yeah. I think Oscar Robertson is somewhere between 6 and 10 all time. I don't know exactly where. I haven't ranked him out, but just looking at these stats,
Is he ahead of Bill Russell for you?
yeah.
Good.
Bill Russell's probably number 10 on my list. And I only give him top 10 because the 11 championships and all the stories I've heard, but stats-wise, man, it is not great. Offensively.
No, it's not.
Defensively, he might be the greatest defender ever.
And
he slowed down.
and arguably greatest rebounder ever. One of the greatest.
Yeah,
rebounders.
one of them, yeah.
Not,
I would go Wilt,
not as good as Wilt. Yeah.
but close. It was. I think he averaged 22.3, and Wilt averaged 22.9 per their career. But Wilt had a couple years there towards the end where it was like, all right, hang it up, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say he's probably top 10 all time, and I don't think he's the greatest point guard ever. I think that's Magic Johnson.
Is
But I mean-
that mostly because of Johnson's winning?
Well, Magic Johnson played 12 years, went to 9 NBA Finals in 12 years, and won 5 championships and 3 Finals MVPs.
Do you think he does that with the Cincinnati Royals?
Probably not.
Do you think he comes in and wins it the first year? And I don't know, man. I think Magic. I have him.
He won a Finals MVP his
But, like, I
rookie
feel like it's all
season.
based on winning. It's all just based on this championship. But like, fucking Royals,
Yeah,
Lakers. Like, I pulled my mic over here.
You did. Yeah.
So,
Royals. Like,
but
yeah, it's just
the Lakers weren't good when they got Magic Johnson, though.
They were not.
No, they weren't. They actually, I think, missed the playoffs. That's how they got the number 1 pick.
Oh well, yeah, but didn't they? Well, then that
They
trade,
had
that
Kareem,
trade. What?
Then Kareem got hurt in the finals, and Magic Johnson won
When
Finals
did they?
MVP as a
What year
rookie.
did they get Kareem?
They had him in 1976. I want to say is when he
So they
joined.
were bad with him.
Yeah, they were bad with him.
Well, that's a little different.
Yeah,
I just remember him being plopped into the finals, and then Kareem got hurt.
Yeah. yeah, he did.
But he won Rookie of the Year. I mean,
He won Rookie of the Year, and he won a Finals MVP and a championship as a rookie.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Magic Johnson.
Then-
Yeah, Magic Johnson had a damn good career that kind of almost gets forgotten a little bit for some reason. I'm not sure why, but dude, he was a beast. So I would give it to Magic, but then he's got to argue. I think Steph is probably number 2 in the point guard list, but then after that, Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, wherever you want to go,
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hey, it's been real.
yes, it has.
All right, tune in next week. Who we doing?
Dude, let's do let's do Charles Barkley, Karl Malone back to back.
So we do Charles Barkley.
Yeah, and then Karl Malone.
Oh, you want to do them in the same episode?
No. Like separate.
Sam's
Oh, okay.
Sam's he's excited. He's getting ahead of himself.
All
So yeah, I like doing the round.